Everything must find its purpose. Let me put it this way. Okay, make it more personal. Life apart from God is doomed to failure and frustration. Because in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Everything must relate back to God. So the moment you're cut off from God, your life is automatically doomed to failure and frustration. That is the message of Genesis. That is the message of the Bible. And that is the message to our life today. That's why this simple statement tells us, it introduces to us, simple yet profoundly, what Genesis is all about, what the Bible is all about, what life is all about. Walk away from God for whatever reasons. You're going to be frustrated and unfulfilled. And we see examples then, I'll share this with you in closing. We see examples then, and that's why we come back to those key characters. Those chapters that deals with the main characters of the Bible. We see after the fall, Noah, what does he represent? What do you think? Mr. Noah built an ark. What does he represent? Any guesses? Everyone who goes into the ark gets saved, right? Good. He represents salvation, life after Adam. Poor guy is going to get a lot of blame from us. Right? Life after Adam, life after the fall, must find salvation in God. And then we see that great character of faith, Abraham. And I may have given you the tip already. What does he represent? Faith, good. And that's why the book of Romans says the just shall live by faith. After you are saved, it's not the end of the story, right? It's the start of a journey. How do you get on this journey? How do you find your fulfillment in God? How do you find your purpose in God? By faith. And then Isaac. What do you think he represents? He's the patriarchal version of the Ahia. If you don't know what I mean. The sonship, the blessing, right? He has all the wealth, all the experiences of his father passed on to him to give him that head start. He's the beloved of his father, right? And then you see Jacob. What do you think he represents? A lot of people have a lot of trouble with Jacob. But you know, mostly it's because we have trouble with ourselves, with our lives. Our lives are not perfect. We can't accept it. So when we see Jacob, we say, yee, so horrible. Right? But you know what? The story of Jacob is not about Jacob. It's about God changing his life. So he's a picture of sanctification. Now that is a very big word in the Bible, or we can call it simply growth. Right? It's a picture of growth. He's telling you, okay, you are saved, you are now walking by faith, you are a child of God, and this is how you grow. Okay, this is how you're going to solve those problems, not by yourself. Jacob tried to solve the problem himself. And then God says, no, you're not going to solve the problem yourself. You see this ladder here? If you all remember the story, I will go into that in detail later. You see this ladder here, or that leads to heaven? This is how you solve your problem. And then he still don't quite learn it, don't quite understand it. And so he wrestled with the angel until he's broken. Then he has to depend. So he learns to grow. And then the Bible gives us a beautiful picture of what it means when a person is seeking the Lord and is living by faith. He's a picture of glorification. Now, I'm not saying that Joseph is perfect. Okay, the only person that is perfect is Jesus. But you notice that though he was sold and betrayed by his brother, he bore no grudge. He took no vengeance. The glorification is not being the prince of Egypt. The glorification is in his character. Because he chose God. He chose to say, yes, you sold me, but it is God who sent me. Right? He chose to believe in God, to live that life of faith, and he grew, and therefore he rose in his life above bitterness, above vengeance, above petty hatred that all our lives are bound in. A picture of what it means when you are living the Spirit-filled life. And you know, Joseph lived the Spirit-filled life so fully and powerfully that even the Pharaoh said, wow, is there such a man in whom the Spirit of the Lord is? Wow. Could you live a life like that? Yes. Why? Because Joseph did. Okay, so these are the key points I'd like to point out to you in the book of Genesis. Just to recap very quickly, the theme is the beginnings of all things except God. The emphasis is not on events, it's not on things, it's on your life and my life, because that is what matters to God. That's true in Genesis, that's true in the whole Bible, that's true in all of life today. And the key message is about the action hero, God, not Abraham, not Noah, not this man, but God working through this man, and how brought them back into a relationship with him. Okay? So I hope that with this simple introduction to the book of Genesis and to the rest of the Bible, we can carry on our journey, and we will find blessings and profit in a life that is found in Christ and Christ alone. All right, so I'm done for now. This is the end of the first session for the Old Testament studies part.